Hello, hello, hello. That's probably not the best. Hold on. Hello, 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 hello. How's everybody doing? Let me see where we're at over here. Go live. Let's try that. Why is that not showing me right here? What's going on with this? That's crazy. I guess. I don't know. But anyhow, good Saturday afternoon, everybody. How's everybody doing this evening or this afternoon? It is a gray, kind of a great cold day here in Atlanta. It is 4:22 here this afternoon as we're doing this live. Come on, step by. I see Leonard, the cat outside. Come on, stop by for a minute, say hello. Eddie Williams Sellers coming to you over here live on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram. Ava's outside with a bag cleaning out some stuff out of her car. We're going to head over to Cabbagetown here shortly, probably in about 30, 40 minutes, and pick up Savannah and Jill, and we're going over to the movie theater, and we're going to see the latest Wicked movie. So I'm going to get out of the house and be doing. I woke up. I've been wanting some French fries. Y'all ever just crave carbohydrates like that?
I want some French fries.
We want some French fries
and candy.
Which I always get me a box of Milk Duds or either M&Ms or something to watch the movie. But anyhow, good afternoon, everybody. Coming to you from a cold, gray Saturday evening here in Atlanta. Ava and I laid down a little bit earlier and took a nap, and we woke up and trying to get motivated. Take me a jacket. Hey, Miss Kathy Cole Jackson over on TikTok. Good afternoon to you. Hello, everybody else there on TikTok. So anyhow, a lot going on in the world today. Just a lot going on in the world today. It's Thanksgiving weekend. A lot of us celebrated Thanksgiving this Thursday, and we cleaned out the rest of our leftovers when we cleaned up the kitchen earlier. We just went in and dumped the dressing and just cleaned everything out. We're like, yeah, we've had enough of it. We had enough of turkey and dressing and all that kind of stuff. Anyhow, we're in the midst of a Thanksgiving weekend. Thanksgiving's kind of come and gone. Black Friday was yesterday. Most people's going to be getting back to work tomorrow. You know what I was thinking earlier this evening? I don't know in what way to do this or how to do this, and I don't know how it works as far as enlightenment and the law of attraction and the other things that's going on. I like to make more money in 2025. I mean, I just like to put that out there. Still recovering from all the cooking. I just know that things seem so expensive now, and money seems to be getting tighter and tighter. And I don't necessarily want to come over here and just dagger Trump, till there's nothing left to dagger about him. But his first year in office, things have really seemed to have gotten higher, or maybe the money's got tighter. So anyhow, over the month of December, I don't know if is there other things, the whole thing about making money online with TikTok or doing live streams or social media. There's people out there that make hey digits mom over on TikTok. There's people out there that make hundreds of thousands of dollars on social media doing content creation and all like it. It's really hard to maintain making money, I guess, unless you're really tap into something that's really popular that you're doing online. Happy Thanksgiving to you there too, Digits Mom. I'm not going to be on here maybe too long. We're going to see a movie here shortly. I haven't really been doing much lives in the last month or two. I just hadn't felt it. But anyhow, I want to put this out here into the universe. I like to make more money in 2025, and the monies that I live off of and make are basically monies from rent, and I don't make any money from A1 Blueprint Company, but I make some money on the rent of the space for A1 Blueprint Company. So, and then I have my Social Security check, but I'd like to generate, I don't want to be tied down to like some job, but I just like to put that out there. What can I do to generate more money, to generate income in the in the year ahead? And I'm sure a lot of you out there that's comes across this will probably think the same thing. Like, my God, Eddie, I could use an extra $200, $300, $400, $500 a month to put in the till to have a little money. Of course, $200, $300 now only gets you 2 or 3 little sacks of groceries. So anyhow, there's that going on. And also, I just want to have my mind open, have my thought process open to like make more money in 2026, to make more money, to maybe flow better financially. Because a lot of us, we got cars that's getting old, we got things that need to be remodeled around the house. We need more income. And it's kind of like it's colliding also that now we see we're in Atlanta in a lot of areas, home prices are starting to drop. Homes that's for sale are just sitting there longer and longer. There's something going on with the housing market, y'all. I've been in the housing market with buying and selling and rehabbing houses for 40 years. And in 2008, we seen a horrible plunge of the country. I bought 5 houses back when it collapsed last time. I think 5 houses. Bought houses for like $12,000 a house. And one of them over here off Mullen Avenue still had a Coldwell Banker for sale sign in it for $130,000. And I paid the bank $12,000 for it. And so we've seen before that the housing pricing just collapsed. And a lot of the forecasters are predicting we're going to have what they call a correction, that the housing, people are not putting contracts on houses right now. They're just sitting out there because the economy feels very unstable. It feels very unsteady right now. And then we have this president that's in the Oval Office who daily, like today, he's talking about he's now telling everybody that the airspace of Venezuela is off limits now, and don't nobody need to be flying around Venezuela, which creates all kind of chaos in that part of the world. And then he's trying to force Zelensky to come to a peace agreement with Russia by giving Russia everything they want, including land. And the economy's all the numbers just really look shaky and unsteady right now for the economy. And so, and then aside from that, just the whole blanket layer of having a president that's an idiot. That's an idiot. When a reporter can ask him a question like earlier today, I think a female, it's always a female reporter for CBS News, asked him a question about XYZ, and he just starts out, he doesn't answer the question. He just starts out by saying, "You're stupid. You're stupid. You're a stupid woman. You ask stupid questions because you're stupid." I mean, y'all, seriously, this is where we're at as a country right now. this is where we're at as a country right now. And so anyhow, there also could be a big telltale sign coming up this Tuesday. There's a congressional election for the 7th district in the state of Tennessee, and the congressional district takes in parts of Nashville. Well, there's a congressional, a seat for a congressional race that's Tuesday, and it's between a Democrat and a Republican. In the last 2 years ago, the Republican won that seat, a Trump Republican in Tennessee, you know, it's no shock, won that seat by 22 points. Well, nobody realistically thinks this a Democrat, this female, is going to win this race Tuesday. But the polls have showed her only 2 percentage points behind the MAGA Republican guy and a Trump Republican. So we see these telltale signs that hopefully the country is slowly starting to wake up and come to their senses, to come to their senses. So we'll see how that goes Tuesday. But if by some strange miracle the Democrat did win the 7th congressional district in Tennessee, it will send shockwaves through MAGA. And the insiders, the people who's supposed to know, said that there's a whole list of Republican congressional and Senate people because they all kind of got shocked of these last elections in New Jersey and these Virginia and this Mondani in New York City. Nobody was expecting the Democrats to run away and win that big a margin in those races. So if there's a close race in the 7th congressional district of Tennessee, it's going to send shockwaves. Drinking coconut water, y'all. So politics is all swirling around us all the time. And I know a lot of you people are just really tuned completely out, don't want no hide, no hair, no part of politics. It's kind of, to me, I look at that in a way as like saying, I'm going to be in this church every Sunday, but I'm not going to pay any attention to religion. And the church has got all kind of chaos just going on in the church. The preacher's sleeping with people. There's people stealing money from the funds in the church. There's shadiness and shakiness all going on in the church. And I'm just going to go every Sunday and sit there and be in the midst of it, but tune it all out and not care about it. That's similar to what's going on now in the country. We get up every day. There's always some kind of new chaos going on. Donald Trump's having meltdowns. He's tweeting in the middle of the night. He's calling people now, you know, the R word, retarded word. And I understand why that word has been phased out. Now they're bringing the word back. I mean, he said fuck from the Oval Office, you know, just so that they don't want to fuck with us. That's the way he talks. And I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't use the N-word before long, because they're reintroducing all these words that will stigmatize and make people feel uncomfortable. And there is no bottom or no uncomfortable level that the MAGA people could ever get to. Yeah, see, TikTok's already flagged that.
Did you get kicked off?
Maybe for a minute. Maybe I'm back on. So I have to be real careful in how I would. Now, the president can come on and say these kind of things, but if you and I come on, these social platforms like TikTok and Facebook and Instagram and a lot of these are owned by MAGA billionaires. That's why you can come on here and say anything you want to about Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. You have to tread real careful what you say about Trump and the MAGA people. Hey, Miss Rhonda, over on Facebook. So anyhow, TikTok, it is 4:34. Ava and I are going over to see Wicked here. It shows at 6 o'clock. We are doing well, Wanda. Hope you're doing well also. And then let me see right here. But anyhow, for the people out there in the internet world, thank you, Rhonda says, congratulations on the marriage. Ava and I got married in New York back in October, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, back in October.
October 15th.
October the 15th. That's tax day, I believe, or is it? I don't know.
October 15th.
Yeah, I think that's the last day you can extend your taxes. So, but anyway, anyhow, I woke up from a nap. So as this year winds down and we get to we head into the new year, I think I want to scratch my head and put my thinking cap on and figure out how can I make some more money in 2026. What can I do to make some additional money? And I don't know what that is, but now there's so much access to everything now, thank you there, Miss Rhonda. So anyway, have y'all thought of, good Lord, the MAGA people hate me over on TikTok. Have y'all thought of any way to make any extra monies for the year ahead? Because groceries have got high, y'all. Groceries have got high. So, but anyway, yeah, it's going to be, Rhonda said, let me know when you figure out how to make some more money. Let's put our heads together, y'all, and figure out how to make some extra money for 2026. How we can, let me see here. What can we come up with to put some extra, no, Heather's like, we can go back to the t-shirt press. I don't want to do that. That's a lot of, we used to do some t-shirts back in the days. And what else did we do back in the days? I mean, the blueprint shop only needs half the space that's on the corner over there on Boulevard. So I could take and divide the building in half and do something else out of the other half of the building. The problem is finding something to put into that part of it where you could pour yourself into it to actually make some money. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. But I'm going to be putting my head together and scratching my head and trying to think what could we no business cards. And y'all, printing has changed so much. Blueprint shops are basically like Blockbusters. That they're just dying out. People don't need hard paper copies no more. They used to be little mom and pop print shops in all little towns and neighborhoods and all, and business cards and brochures and letterhead and all that stuff. Everything's so accessible now. People can just upload, go to Vistaprint online or something. They can overnight you an order and have it to you the next morning at 10 o'clock and do it cheaper than any little print shop can do it. Business cards, all that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to think. I just want to put that out there. I don't know what the answer is. Maybe somebody out there has a proposition on some business of doing something here in Atlanta. I like to be open to making more money. A lot of people won't come right out and say, God, dog, I need more money. I need more to live off of. Rhonda says, I'm going to eat less, but my little granddaughter eats enough yogurt. I need to stock up and I need to stock in Yoplait. So I don't know, and there's little bakeries and I never have understood how anybody makes money in coffee shops. Yeah, and I know you're paying $3 or $4 or $5 for a cup of coffee, but people come in there and sit for 2 hours for $3 or $4 or $5. Design is another kind of something. At one point over the years, we've been a UPS store. We've been, at one time I had 3 locations in Atlanta. I had a Buckhead location, a downtown location, and a Grant Park location in blueprinting. And over 27, 28 years, so much of that have shifted and changed. And so I don't know what it is, but I'd like to figure out some way to make money, to make more money, So, maybe we go to maybe as the year winds down, we go through the prayer line and get somebody to anoint us with a head with oil and say, "Oh, more money, Jesus, more money." Because I'm telling you, it cost. Ava and I have a small little house here in East Point, and if you rental, I did. Rhonda over here says rental property. I did rental property, but at my age, I don't want to rent no more. I just don't want to do that no more. There is I've done that down through the years, and that's part of the house I've got for sale over on Key Road. Now, if we ever get it up to the market to sell, it's been a rental house for 15 years, and I'm just tired of the whole rental thing. Yeah, there's money to be made in it. It's a lot of headache too to take care of tenants and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So anyway, so there's that. That's just what I've got on my mind today. What can we do in 2026 to make more money? And I know a lot of people. Well, let me go back and say this: property taxes are so high. Especially on the building over there. Property taxes are so high. You take your car and you get service, $800-900 every time you turn around. Need a new hot water heater, or if your furnace goes out or something. It just costs a lot of money to maintain. And I think most people, they just want to maintain their life. They want to keep their bills paid. They want to keep their lights. So my poor mama, y'all was raised up, mama get her lights turned off. We'd be kids. We sat there for a week, get the lights turned back on. Well, I'm nowhere near going to ever get my lights turned off again. Not hope, but it would be good to something out there. And I don't want to do all that franchise. You have to do $1 million now to do a Subway sandwich shop or something like that. And plus, I'm 70 years old. I don't want to be tied down. Here's my ideal situation for 2026, because I don't work no more. I have free time. My ideal situation for 2026 is to do as little work as possible to make as much money as possible.
I second that for myself.
To do as little work as possible. Now, Ava goes 7 days a week. She was going to Piedmont Park today to do something. She's busy 7 days a week. Ruby right here is always taking her love to town.
I do need some of it to pay more.
But we need to generate. And maybe I'm just inspiring somebody out here right now, because you struggle to balance that checkbook every month. Maybe as this month of December is a month where we're like, put our brains to work, put our intentions out into the universe, generate more income. And here's my thing is, y'all, the way I look at some of this also. I told Ava earlier, there is so much wealth swirling all around us. Whether you're in Atlanta or in Riverdale, Georgia, or sitting down on Jekyll Island, go to New York and just look at those $10 million apartments by the thousands all over that city. There's so much wealth swirling all around us. We need to tap into that. I don't know the answer to scratch that surface, to tap into it, but we need to tap into that. And is it true that do we attract that to us? I've always felt like I was rich anyhow. I know that's kind of heady and high-minded to some people. I've always felt like, well, I'm rich anyway, We need to tap into that. And for a lot of people my age, as you've become retired, you very much get structured into a limited bowl of money that you allocate every month to live off of. So who's to say while you're in your 70s, you can't tap into finances and wealth? You can't make more money. So maybe that's what I do for the rest of December, is maybe I focus on, like an old televangelists, then they creep you, get on there like, in this prosperity gospel, the prosperity gospel. If you'll pay tithes and you walk upright, you support this ministry, God will bless you and God give you back 100-fold and all like that. Y'all, all that stuff don't work. None. That's a bunch of foolishness. But there is some truth into the fact that you can tap into something, something that where you tap into the flow, where you do. I do believe in the law of attractions. I believe you put out badness hunts you down, comes back to you. I do believe in karma and the old sowing and reaping. Whatever a man shall sow, that shall he also reap. We got to figure out how to tap into sowing prosperity, wealth, finances, money, to make more money, to have more money, to be less concerned about, do you run out of money? Sometimes you scratch your head and you're like, my God, am I going to run out of money? What if Crazy Donald decides they're going to do away with Social Security? A lot of us depend on our little Social Security checks, and mine's not so little, and so anyway, so that maybe that's what we do. Amy says to write a story, write a book. I actually have 2 books that's about to be published. Ava and I was working on one about life in transition, and then I'm working on one myself. And then I have a book for any of those out here on the internet tonight. If you Google A.D. Williams Sellers on Amazon, there's a book online, my book, The Cabbagetown Years. I think it's 1999 or something. I don't know how many of them I sold, but I made some extra money in 2025 because my account, I had to pay taxes on it. I mean, if you make $1 million, you don't have to pay hardly any taxes on it. If you only make an extra 15,000 or so, they just rip about half of it right back away from you. You pay it in taxes. So, but anyway, I'm going to see Wicked. Just putting this out there. Let's generate some more income in 2026. Put your thinking cap on. Scratch your head. Some of you, a lot of jobs now, you could work for an airline just handling reservation calls or cold calls or something, working from your home for 3 or 4 hours a day and making an extra $300 or $400 a week. Love you too, hubby. I done talk now, my throat's dry. So anyhow, love y'all. Let me get off of here. See y'all.